I keep my French polishing rubbers in this plastic container, and they can be used over and over again, but there comes a time when the rubber has just about had its chips. In this case here, if I was to charge this with shellac, it would just smear over the surface and wouldn't be absorbed into the cotton wool. So it's time for a replacement. Just out of a point of interest, I'll show you what it looks like. You can see all this goo around the edges, but it gets really matted inside. And it's at that point, you can see there, at that point it really needs to go. So we're going to do another one. Now, if you get yourself a nice piece of cloth, this is cotton, it is lint free, and it's extremely soft. And you get your piece of cotton wool. This is 300 by 300. If you get your piece of cotton wool and just roll it up, and you make it into that shape that you saw previously, my previous one, it's kind of like a mouse. So I'm just going to squish this into shape like that. The idea is, when you're using it, you've got your finger on that little pointy bit, and that allows you to get into little crevices. And you just get a nice bit of shape happening there. Now, what you do is you put it onto your piece of cloth, you draw your piece of cloth over the top, trying to keep its shape, as I'm doing here. You pull this cloth really nice and tight around that edge, like that, and later we're going to pick up that piece with the other bit that I'm just going to put across. Now again, I'm pulling that really tight. This is where you need about 8 pairs of hands. I'm pulling that really tight. Now, put that there, you fold that under, you get hold of that piece of cloth that I showed you earlier, and you roll it round, and you roll it round rather like this. Now what you've got here is, you've got your little pointy shape at the front, and that goes into the crevices, and you've got a nice flat pad to hold loads and loads of shellac. Now, this is where it's going to live. Now, after I've charged it, I'll put it back inside this container, rather like that. And to keep it moist and ready for use at any time, what I'll do is I'll put just a little diddle of alcohol in there, rather like that. And that'll keep it moist, ready for use. You can leave it in this container for months, and it's ready for use.